I don't know if you've received word through the grapevine that college students tend to drink a lot more than you do, but we do. So don't try to keep up with us at parties. You know what that's gonna end up with? That's gonna end up with you getting carried out of the party, or you throwing up, or you crying, or you getting carried out of the party while you're throwing up and crying.
A public controversy observed in the nation is drinking. In recent years, it has become increasingly common. Some questions associated with this topic would be, why do young adults feel it's more socially acceptable to drink underage? How does it affect the general public? What do people even gain from drinking?
Why is it socially acceptable to drink underage? Well, there are a number of reasons for this phenomenon. One of the reasons is that drinking underage is considered socially acceptable by many members of this age group. Also, movies such as Project X and songs such as Blame It on the Alcohol reinforce a culture that promotes drinking while underage. Another reason why drinking underage is socially acceptable is that historically, this age group has had access to alcohol due to previous generations not having the current age restrictions that current generations face. This has made it almost an expectation to begin drinking at a young age.
If you're not drunk, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to get drunked up. Let's do it.
Finally, young adults tend to be rebellious. And with this being so, will go against the rules and drink despite being underage.
Another question is, how does drinking affect the general public? Alcohol can affect people's safety, either from driving drunk or people who might harm others while they're intoxicated. Also, many people, especially young adults, binge drink, which is where they drink as much as they can in a small amount of time to get themselves drunk. Lastly, a lot of money goes towards keeping drinking environments under control.
Lastly, what do people gain from drinking? Drinking red wine is beneficial for your heart, and it can also lower your risk of stroke.
Pick, but make sure the color is red. New research shows red wine contains the trifecta of magical antimicrobial properties: ethanol, pH levels or acidity, and resveratrol, a plant nutrient found in grape skins, grape juice, and vines.
So all three together may pack this powerful punch. And again, this is not just heart health. This is a benefit for something that is very, very scary right now, lowering the risk of foodborne illness.
Yep, you heard her right. Red wine helps fight foodborne bugs, high cholesterol, and tumors. Merlot in particular have the right stuff to protect against salmonella, trifamurium, H. pylori, and the potentially fatal Listeria monocytogenes and E. coli.
There have been a lot of benefits of red wine for other reasons, particularly for cardiovascular health.
As mentioned before, it is sometimes glamorous in movies such as Project X.
To the break of dawn, yo!
Finally, it can have deadly and tragic consequences.
I know who you are.
There's a reason the man in the red shirt, Harry Bostic, looked familiar to Sergeant Hilden Sessom. This was the second time the Oxford, Mississippi police officer had arrested Bostic for driving drunk.
You been drinking today?
There was an open bottle of wine in the front seat with them. There was an open bottle of champagne on the front seat with them. He had a large cup that was full of red wine.
Police found he was driving at twice the legal limit of alcohol. This was Bostic's third drunk driving arrest in a year.
You know you're not supposed to be driving.
Bostic pled guilty to the...
The Dallas lawyer planning on taking his family to the lake did a little research and found that Memorial Day is the #1 day for boating accidents and deaths in Texas. Attorney Robert Gregg sat down with Fox 4 at his office. He says he was surprised to learn the biggest factor in those wrecks.
It's called Four Loko, the drink that combines alcohol and stimulants like caffeine and taurine. It's already been banned in a handful of states, and now the FDA is expected to outlaw the drink nationally as soon as today.
Assuming people sometimes want to just do it, just try it, and not realizing, my goodness gracious, the ill effects that it can have.
I just told everyone who didn't know about it that they can black out for $9 as opposed to $20 and $30. Blackout in a can is really a label that Four Loko would have loved to put on their can, but couldn't.
Of a young man accused in a DUI crash that killed a family of 4 is speaking out. Stephen Boyce is the accused driver in a crash that happened just off Interstate 81 in Stevenson.
A lot of people hurting in this story, Leon. This roadside memorial is growing day by day. Now there are teddy bears, balloons, more flowers across this community. Half a dozen miles from the West Virginia border is devastated. He's charged with involuntary manslaughter, plowing drunk into the rear of a car stopped at a red light Sunday morning. An entire family, Mark and Amanda Rowe and their 2 young sons, all killed in the fiery crash.